gets real. It gets real. It gets real. It gets real. It gets real. Well, we're back. We're back. The Super League was always gonna pop off. The Super League was always gonna pop off. It was always gonna pop off. I just go, we're back. Remember, last time you saw me, I was in a cream suit. I still have that suit, by the way. I still have that suit. We're always. But what's interesting about this, because I think we need to do like a hangout about this, is that there's still, people, there's beef. There is beef between, especially EPL guys, EPL fans, and I think obviously fans of La Liga, Serie, La Liga, and so forth. There's this back and forth. And I want to hear both sides, because I think both sides have raised arguments. One side is, Premier League, why are you being so greedy? Why do you want to have a Super League all to yourself? Because that's what it is with guys like Bournemouth and Nottingham Forest buying players. The Premier League is like, oh, so you're now chastising us because we've ran our league a lot better, kept finances in check, and you've not run it in check because you allowed the top clubs to be greedy with the TV revenue, so would now bring us down with you. Hell no. Let's bear the fruits of our goodness and our good and hard labor. So it's interesting, but Super League is back with a new thing. So I want to just to sort of go through this step by step. So here we have it. A new look European Super League will be a competition with no permanent members. That's key. That's key. That's key. It's pop off. It's pop off. Because remember, the last time we popped off, and the big issue was like permanent members and so forth. I was like, okay, you can only have permanent members up in this piece. So no permanent members. All right, that's peace. That's cool. 822 Sports Management is a company promoting a revamped European Super League. So obviously they got rid of those bricks from the last time. The company backed a 12-club, maybe it's the same group, a 12-club ESL proposal in 2021 that failed to materialize after protest against it. The foundations, so it's the same group, but they're revamping it. So it's the same group from 2021. The foundations of European football are in danger of collapsing. It's time for a change. It is the clubs that bear the entrepreneurial risk in football. Okay, so the original plans of the ESL in 2021 contained 20 teams, 12 founding members, and 3 unnamed clubs expected to join later, plus 5 clubs who would have qualified annually based on their domestic achievements. So Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City, United, and Tottenham backed out of the project within 48 hours following widespread condemnation. Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Juventus, however, are still pushing for an ESL. Reichert says the new ESL would contain 60 to 80 teams. So that's a massive difference. So from this exclusive club of 20 teams, 12 founding members, to now 80 teams. Interesting. 80 teams. Each guaranteed a minimum of 14 matches per season and continue. Here's the key thing here, and I think this is what we really need to address. And continue to play in their domestic leagues. Continue to play in the domestic league. So it doesn't mean that your national league is going to be destroyed. I'll go forth. This is just what would replace the UCL. So this is really, it's not really a battle against. This isn't a battle against your national league. It's a battle against the UCL. And bro, I love the UCL. I bloody love the UCL. But I'm going to look back and say, if teams are saying that, like, no, UEFA, you're pocketing way too much money. We're the clubs, we're the big dogs, we are the main draw. And as the main draw, we should get most of the cheddar. So, 822 did not provide more specifics on the format. In December, UEFA and FIFA received significant backing in a bid to block the creation of a European Super League. In a report released by the European Court of Justice, its Advocate General said the rules of football's European and world governing bodies were compatible with EU competition law. It has been claimed UEFA and FIFA were breaking competition law by threatening to sanction clubs and players who joined a breakaway league. So that's very key here. It claimed UEFA and FIFA were breaking competition law by threatening to sanction clubs and players who joined the breakaway league, which is what, remember, they did by trying to sanction them. So There was like, no way. A final ruling will be made by some dudes. So this is obviously Teba saying that the Super League is the wolf. So this is Javier Tebas, the Liga president. The Super League is the wolf who today disguises himself as a granny to try to fool European football. But his nose until the very wait, what's this guys? Is this like what's it called? Like Goldilocks and the three thingy? Okay. Here we go. The new format will see the initial phase contain one league table, including all teams. Each will play 8 group stage games against different opponents with 4 home ties and 4 away. The top 8 will go through to the knockout stage, while those from 9th to 24th will compete in a 2-legged playoff to progress. Oh wait, hold on. Oh no, sorry. This is UEFA's new thing, which is just weird, man. A2020 continue to push the Super League agenda and the idea of more fluidity between more clubs, and no one being ring-fenced is far removed from the initial plan of a single 20-team league. The clear problem is that the initial idea was so badly received, it is hard to imagine any way back. Okay. So here's my thing here. Here's my thing here with all this. Let me be fully transparent here with you and just see where I'm at with this whole thing. This channel began. So I'm speaking only for myself. This channel began with the first football video. Okay, the first football video technically was Ronaldinho not being picked to go to the World Cup by that Bomas Donga. That was my first ever football video on this channel. But the first videos that really gained traction was UCL videos. So UCL reactions that I was doing back in 2010, when I didn't have a job, I was unemployed. So look, long story. Trust me, I was in a very different place back then, man. Thank the Lord. So where I am with it is, I've been real with it. I love football. And I respect all aspects of football. Football is my blood, and I love all aspects of football. But, you see, people don't want to be honest. And I think that lack of honesty in life is what makes things difficult. I love the Champions League. And why do I like the Champions League? Because it's the best against the best. I'm not married to just the UCL. I am married to the best against the best. The best players against the best players. When you play FIFA, unless you're like a hardcore fan of a club, how many people pick to play as Pescara? How many people pick to play as Braunschweig? How many people pick to play as Nottingham Forest or as Bournemouth and so forth? Not many. Most people, your PSG, your Bayern, your Barcelona, your Man City, your Chelsea, because these guys have the very best players. Now, this is where it gets interesting. So the EPL is like, why do you need a Super League? Because this is already the Super League. Look at who Nottingham Forest were able to buy. Look at how Bournemouth were able to buy. So for EPL fans, are like, what's the need in there being a Super League? Like, it's already here already. All in one league because we have all the money. The money is beautiful spread out. TV revenue is pop-up enough. So why do we need to go all the way through? So this is where I now bring in the fact of one of the best things that ever happened to my life. One of the best things that ever happened to me in my life was going to an international school. That's one of the best things that ever happened to me. Because going to an international school at a very young age, I think, how old was I? I think I was 10 or 11. Made me like, oh my gosh, the world is global. So I've always liked different traditions and just the world being open. Hence why for me, one of the greatest competitions on the planet is the World Cup. One of the greatest competitions on the planet is the World Cup because it is about bringing the world closer together because I have a global view. I think the issue is people have a more inhibited view and people love to be tribal. We're better than you. We're better than you. And people like to just draw lines across the world. At one point in time, we're just all one nation. Again, we all came from Africa. So my thing though is, the reason why I love the World Cup, or let's just keep it close. I like the Champions League. Oh wow, Benfica. I get to talk about with Portuguese fans about what Benfica means. Oh, Napoli fans about what Napoli means. Bayern Munich. German fans, but what's Bayern are. Ajax fans, Dutch. So my thing is PSG, Marseille. So opening a league to everybody, I think, is better because if you just say keep it within Premier League, okay, that's cool, but that's just England. So all you're getting is something that's just culturally English. Whereas, and this is where what I've tried to do with this channel is I've always been interested in football generally. Bro, bring in Flamengo up in this piece. Bring in the African Champions League up in this piece because shouldn't we want to be global? And I think that's the question we have to ask ourselves. Shouldn't we want to be global? And I think that I get this kind of idea that people prefer to be tribal and people love being tribal. Because for me, I'm a guy like, oh yes, Chelsea are my team, but I don't have any preconception to hate Tottenham or hate Arsenal. Bro, Ginola was a bloody amazing player for Tottenham, and I'll say it. Henry is the greatest ever player in Premier League history, and I'll say it. I don't give a damn. Oh, boy, he's Arsenal. I've got to hate Henry and so forth. No, I'm sorry. No, I'm not hating Henry because Arsenal and Chelsea rival. No, Henry is now a bloody amazing player. It is what it is. What it is. Ginola was an amazing player for Tottenham. It is what it is. So was Bismarck by the bill. All I want is the best against the best. Now, for me, with this Super League, it seemed as if they don't have everything fully concise. They're still sort of ironing all of the details. And I think people are just receiving this. But what I've always said for a Super League is if you can have a situation where you have all the best teams all housed in together, you have a product, a TV product that everybody can plug into. So everyone is in the Super League, and there's a Super League app. You know, like a Fire TV stick, there's a Super League app. You pay a fee each month for that Super League app. That money gets funneled into the league and gets spread all around the league, and everybody can eat out from the pie of the Super League, which is money that's been generated by everybody within the league. And that is where maybe the EPL fans argument comes in, because EPL fans are like, Real Madrid, Juve, all you guys, why don't you spread the TV revenue from top to bottom? Because I think that what the Premier League was always wanted to do is it's about the Premier League. The issue with La Liga was this is about Barcelona and Real Madrid. And we're going to focus on Barcelona and Real Madrid. But for the Premier League was like, yeah, we understand United and so forth, but the Premier League was, when the Premier League was made, it's always about this is England's finest. And what we're going to do is, once you're into the Premier League, everyone benefits. Not just United, not just Chelsea, everyone benefits from the league. Hence when people say, no, this is pretty much the Premier League is the Super League. And it's how the Super League is supposed to operate, where you have a league system where the TV revenue is spread all the way through. And this is where it gets interesting. A Super League defeats the Premier League. Like, I'm sorry, it does. A Super League destroys the Premier League because, and you see, this is what people don't want to say. I respect Bournemouth and their history. I respect Southampton and their history. I respect Nottingham Forest. I respect the history. Of course, I respect it. So, but can we keep it a stack? No one wants to keep it a stack. Of course, I respect Price and Nottingham Forest. I respect football. I respect you. But let's keep it a stack. If you have a league that has Barcelona with their history, Barcelona with their history and their fan base, Real with their history and their fan base, Bayern with their history and their fan base, PSG with their history and their fan base, AC Milan with their history and their fan base, Ajax with their history and their fan base, and all of these historic clubs that have a global fan base and who are able to attract the kind of players that they can attract. A Super League destroys the Premier League. Because remember, we don't live just in England, we live in the world. Globally, the world, all of those Barca fans around the world, the Real Madrid fans around the world, the Bayern fans around the world, the Bayern fans, the PSG fans around the world, they'll all flock to the AC Milan fans around the world, because doing this channel I've realized, oh wow, there are Milan fans over here. Oh, there are Barca fans all around here. Oh, there are Real fans over here. Oh wow, you're a UEFA fan here. You're a Napoli. So it's global, And I'm sorry, the Bournemouth fan base isn't as much as the Barca fan base. The Brighton fan base is not as big as the Real Madrid or Bayern Munich fan base. I'm sorry, it just isn't. So when you have those global fan bases of those big, massive clubs with the kind of a history that they have and so forth, and the players that have played for them and so forth, the Super League destroys the Premier League. The reason why the Premier League is what it is now is that because they were just smarter. And La Liga and other guys, you flopped because you allowed the big clubs to be greedy instead of actually having a league that was beneficial for everyone within that said league. But in my view, I think that's just where we have to go. We have a league where it's the biggest teams, the best teams, and we pop off. Because guys, it's like playing FIFA. Because when we play FIFA, every single night we play with our friends and so forth, someone is PSG, someone is Bayern, someone is Juve. No one is picking Brighton. No one is picking Pescara. No one is picking Braunschweig. No one is picking freaking what's it called, Lens, Baguette FC. Nobody is picking Spaghetti Bolognese United to play FIFA with anybody. You're picking the best big teams. Bayern, Juventus, Napoli, Ajax, Benfica, PSG. So you're picking the best teams. The teams that you normally see in the UCL. Well, I want us to talk about it. I definitely want us to talk about it because I think this is a great discussion to have because it's here. It ain't going to go away. It ain't going to go away. And I just feel like if the more and more we can discuss about this, the better it will be, man. So guys, hit that subscribe button over there, guys. Subscribe over there, guys. And also, if you're a member, hit that members only content, man. Peace out. Stay true. Chelsea. Okay,